Welcome to the Weird Girls Club with Neve
and Amy.
Now grab a cuppa
Or something stronger
and let's get into it.
We're back for another episode of the Weird Girls Club. It's because we say it such in sync. I laugh, but yeah. We also haven't recorded it in a minute.
Oh my god.
Like it's been so long. 2 weeks? No, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Well, it feels
But
longer.
yeah,
It feels
feels-
like months. But
yeah, today we're so excited because we have another guest.
we do. I'm very excited.
Same.
And this is in honor of Pride Month.
Yeah.
We're just hitting the deadline.
I know. We're
There was
straight
a-
by, but that's
There
actually
was scheduling conflicts and we had to move things around on our end. So
that's actually a good thing because Pride doesn't stop after June. Should
Does it?
always no, technically it does, but I'm saying your support
Oh,
of like the
yeah.
LGBTQ community should be 365 days out of the year.
Yeah.
And not just 30 days.
not
It's
just
June.
1 month. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just say 1 month because I'm not sure how many days are June.
Yeah, so we'll introduce you to the lovely guest. It's Davina
Davina
Devine.
Devine. Yeah, so
Yeah.
pop into that video.
So thanks
there
so
we
much,
go.
Davina.
Oh,
We're very excited that
No
you're
problem.
coming on because we like to talk.
Fab.
Yeah. If you like to talk shit,
Brilliant.
well,
I'm
that'd
up
be
for I'm
better.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Perfect.
So
Well, let's go. Let's talk
Jumping
shite
into
together.
the first question. But so
Okay.
like the hypothetical questions, they're not set in stone. If you want to go off on a tangent,
Okay.
they spark a story, whatever, go for it. They're just like
Okay.
little icebreaker, set them out.
Okay.
But
Set them out.
set them out, set them out.
Like a few candles.
Yeah.
And the tunes are on.
Few incense and all, like, you know.
Yeah. What kind of podcast is this?
Don't fucking know. Oh, so a bit of show, anyways. Right. So if you had a show tonight and you could only use 3 makeup products, what would they be?
Okay, if I could only use 3, well, it'd have to be foundations.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what I'd use? I'd use Sally Hansen because you could use that as foundation.
Oh, that's a good thinking.
Yeah, that is. So you could literally just like dip yourself. Ideally, I'd like to be dipped in a bath of Sally Hansen. That would be like the dream, because that would be just. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
care, fucking cover your eyebrows, everything. So I would have Sally Hansen. I would have like a gel liner in black. You can do everything with that.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'll take it in a brown because I could do a contour with that.
Oh, very smart, very smart.
Yeah, and then of course lashes.
You need lashes.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Like if you're not going to nearly take off, yeah, like there's no point even going. Like the lashes need to be literally like
hitting your
wings, you know. Yeah. So Davy, my 3 must haves, because like I used to work for Mac years ago, and we used to always like, you know, they'd always be trying to get us to like sell like a few bits of items. So you'd always be like using your blusher as your eyeshadow, your lipstick as your like blusher, everything.
Yeah.
So I am that girl. I'm that bitch.
They were good answers though, because at least you can use it for a few things. Like,
And I know you're saying these are hypothetical. I've lived through these hypothetical. I've lived through that. So this has been like, I've lived through that. So when you experience it, you can talk about it.
yeah, no, exactly. Another one is, if you were to be haunted by any ghost for the rest of your life, what dead person would you want to be haunted by?
Oh God, that's a good one. Oh God, that's really hard. There's so many dead. There's so many dead people. So many dead people I love.
It's like bring them all in. It's fine. Yeah, have a black party.
Oh God, if it's like, maybe Princess Diana.
That'd be good.
Yeah, because she was the Queen of Hearts. So I'd say I'd like to get all the goss because I'm obsessed with the crown. Maybe Princess Diana, and it's her 60th birthday this week. So that's kind of fitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this is an education podcast. Yeah, we're getting educated here. That's a good one. Now, I like that one. I like her as well. So.
She's on my mind. There's so many people. Like, how could you choose? Like, you could choose family, but I feel like bringing someone back that you kind of said goodbye to would like drag. I'd rather just meet someone new.
No, someone famous, like someone famous. Either get the goss like that or.
Oh yeah, I want to know if she was alive in the tunnel. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a very good choice. Davina have all the gosh she will. Breaking news. Drag queen knows the truth.
The true Hollywood story. Okay, so that,
You'll sit down with Oprah next. Yeah.
Oh God. The only time I will be sitting down.
Right. So the other one, a bit weird. Would you rather
Okay.
have arms for legs or legs for arms?
I'd rather have arms for legs.
No, so weird.
Yeah, because then I always watch those people on Instagram and all that, you know, either have no limbs or they move around in their hands. So I feel like you could do more with your hands, and it'd be nice to have 4 hands, wouldn't it? I'd kind of quite like to have 4 hands.
Just like grab it, like you sometimes have your reach, just grab it. Like you
Well,
can't
I want
both
to-
hands you want.
Yeah, well, I was thinking something a bit more. Anyway, they'd come in handy, pardon the pun.
Yeah,
So,
Never have enough hands, like.
No, never. And imagine how quick you do your makeup. You'd literally
I know.
Yeah.
like literally hands ready to go. That'd be genius.
Like one would be
That's- I
doing the
literally-
tan, one could put tan on your back and everything, like you'd be grand.
Oh my god, you could do your back and all. Literally
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah.
Your
I'd
arms
actually
and
love to
everything.
have like 4 arms now.
Yeah. Why? What would you rather? Would you rather have leg? What would you rather?
No, I
I
definitely
go
rather
arms, yeah.
Yeah,
Feet
I'd like.
freak me
Like I
out.
couldn't look at feet all day. No.
No, and then like they just be real, like kind of awkward and gangly.
Yeah,
you
you
wouldn't be able to write or anything.
No.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to
No.
cook your dinner with feet.
I'm trying to paint with feet.
Imagine
Well,
trying to do
people
your
have done it,
makeup with
like,
feet.
Yeah. That as well.
Not ideal. Not ideal.
If you could live in someone else's head for 15 minutes, who would you choose?
Oh god, anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Because no what they're saying.
If I could live in anyone's head, it would probably be oh god, that's a real hard question as well. You're putting me on
I
the
know I
spot
feel
now.
so bad because when you're on the
If I
spot,
was-
you go blank.
Oh, if I could live in anyone's head for 15 minutes, I'd love to live in like Micheál Martin's head for like fucking 15 seconds, just to know what is he fucking thinking.
So,
Yeah.
That's what
do you
I
know?
like. You've triggered me now. So, yeah.
No, I'm going, I
So-
always say that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just because I'm like,
Political
what is
podcast.
going on in the doll? I'm like, we're in bits. What is going
No.
on? So I'd like to
Yeah.
live in any of the politicians that are in power, just just at the moment, only for this
Want to
month.
shake
and
them.
just
Yeah.
and then maybe like if I could live in their head, like run into a wall real hard.
Make them do something fucking stupid like
yeah,
that. Get their brain back.
resign, resign.
Just resign.
I step down.
Yeah,
Done.
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, yeah, so I think that's all for the hypothetical questions.
Okay.
That was just like a little icebreaker. But yeah, so we wanted to mainly talk to you about like how you got started in drag, like,
Yeah.
Okay.
and just kind of go down, probably more down like memory lane where you can tell us
Oh,
like
lovely.
funny stories and
Mhm.
yeah, just stuff
Yeah.
like that. So tell us like how did
Totally.
you start drag at first? Like what made you get into it?
God, like I'm always hang on, I'll just dust off the old like memories. How was I like when I like now I have to laugh because like drag is real cool now and everyone's like, oh,
Yeah.
RuPaul's Drag Race, and like when I was starting drag, like it was back in like way back when it was like the early 90s, so like nobody did drag wasn't cool, and I always kind of performed when I was a kid. I was always like in choirs and fucking, you know, oh, can I curse on this podcast?
Yeah, good. Yeah, go for it.
I was performing stuff when I was a kid. So when I kind of became a teenager and you're like, what am I going to do? Because you feel like, you know, you don't want to be real like Scarlet for you. Do you know what I mean? Where you kind of like you're at that level where you're like, you know, you don't want to kind of like go into something serious or dram or like being, you know, when you're in school and all that stuff is grand. So I was kind of going, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What is it going to be? And I remember when I went to the George with my friend, I was only about like, I was only just gone like 19, and I went and I saw one of the shows and I just was like, oh my God, this is actually brilliant. And I just had this thing, I was like, I'd love to do that, because it just looked like you could be anyone, you could wear anything, you could like all those songs that you could never sing, you could all of a sudden sing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Like
mean? You could
totally
lip sync.
free, kind of.
Totally free. So I was like, I'm going to do that. And I said to my friend, I was only talking about this the other day, actually. I said to I used to hang around with a big gaggle of lesbians. And one of them in particular, that's what a collective group of lesbians is called, a gaggle of lesbians.
Right.
And I said to her, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do that. And she was like, oh, no, you won't. She was real dismissive. And that still pisses me off to this day. So I'm like, well, bitch, I did it, didn't I? I did it. So,
Look at me now.
yeah, look at me now. Yeah. So that was kind of like, so when I first decided I was going to do it, like, I was feeling nervous because Dublin was kind of intimidating, and of course you don't want to you don't want to shit where you eat. So I was like, God, if I'm shy, I'm not going to do it like where everyone's going to know me. So a friend of mine had a group in out west. I think they still have it. They look after like all the gays over in like Leitrim and Sligo and all that kind of stuff. So they were going to have like this a disco. They used to have the discos every like month, like a little disco once a month, and they they had no entertainment. They had no budget or anything to do anything. So he said to me one time, he's like, do you want to come and just do something? And I was like, oh, do you know, it's miles away. I'll do it. No one will see. No. If it's shite, I can just like control, alt, delete. It'll be gone. And, so I went down and me and my friends put on this little bit of a show, and some fella then after asked me would I come to Limerick and do something. So it just snowballed. It happened really naturally. Yeah, it was really weird because it was a very different time. But yeah, it happened kind of as I think I'd like to try this. And then all of a sudden it was like I was asked to do this thing. And so I did gigs in like Mayo, then it was like Galway, Limerick. You know, like, so I kind of did like the West. I was the queen of the West. And it was ages before I came to Dublin to do stuff. So I kind of, because I was a bit like, you know, just I was testing the water.
As well. Yeah.
And Dublin then, like Dublin's small now, but Dublin was really small then. So if you made it to yourself, like it probably, like I still see people that I know from that time going, oh, do you remember he did that? Do you remember she did that? So
it's very like that.
Yeah. So it was just one of those, it was a really natural thing for me. And I think about it all the time because it's not one of those things I ever planned, you know?
Yeah, so it just kind of happened.
Yeah. Like I'm delighted it did. But
yeah, because then you just like fell in love with it then with the performance.
Yeah, like see, I always loved being on stage and putting together shows and kind of doing all that. But well, I tell you, like, you know, back when that was in 2002, there was no putting together. Like, oh God, it was like that was before the days of like YouTube, like you know, you were literally like learning on your feet, like you practically what you were saying. Yeah, the icebreaker you were saying, those 3 items was pretty much my makeup bag for like the first like year, you know, because you haven't a clue. Like, I don't think nobody was even wearing lashes really. Do you know what I mean? Like lashes were
it's so different lashes, now.
It's meant like every weather girl now is wearing like a lash. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone has a lash. So you go to bed in lashes. These are my night lashes.
Yeah. But how has it been during COVID for you?
Through COVID, it's been, I'm not going to lie, it's been really tough. It's been very hard because I think when it first started, we thought, oh, like, just be a couple of weeks. Like I remember the week before we had done a gig in the old Break for the Border. Do you know what that is? Like around where? Yeah. You know that? Yeah. We done this gig with it. It turned into this new place called the Scaredy Cat. And we did this one, and I remember we were real hungover, and we were real like just kind of like, so on, and like, you know, just kind of had to really shake ourselves to get there and just make it happen. And afterwards, had a few drinks. We were kind of like making jokes, and we were making like jokes about Corona. We were like going, oh, you know, wear a mask, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, like a Louboutin shoe bag. I'd put like the shoe bag over my head and I was like, stay protected. But I put my wig over, like, so it was like over the thing. So we thought this was gas because we were like, we just didn't take it seriously.
No.
And then when it dropped, they called me and they were like, show's not happening tonight. We don't know when it's going to be back. And I was like, I'll just be a couple of weeks. And I've been working so much. Like I'd be working like, you know, could be working 4 or 5 nights a week. So it was nice to just kind of stop. I was kind of delighted. And then after a little while, I was like, okay, it's starting to get itchy feet. And I missed the crack. I really missed. I missed like going out and getting locked with people and like falling around and just having the laugh. I really missed that. So we start doing online shows because we have a podcast as well. So we start doing like, we did an online podcast and we sold tickets and we didn't really know what we were doing. I had no webcam or anything. I just had like a shite, like 2006 style laptop, like no tech, no frills, no nothing. And we just gave it a go. Like, and people, then I realized that people were missing the crack as well. People were missing, people were missing fun. So to stay on top of that, that was really exhausting because we became people. Oh my God, you and Victoria got us through lockdown, and you know people were coming to us. And then you're kind of going, yeah, but who's getting us through lockdown? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you need someone as well. Yeah,
So it's been hard mentally because it's like because you miss your like I really just miss my old life. You know, I miss the freedom.
Yeah, like normality.
And I kind of feel like if I'm being honest, I'm like I just don't think it's going to come back. Like I feel like kind of like
because it's gone on for so long.
Yeah. Maybe if you were going to ask me about what dead person I'd like, maybe it's my old dead life.
Take that back from the grave, please.
I take that back. That's what I take back. So yeah, it hasn't been easy, but we've got through, you know. And I've been so lucky that like we've had the podcast and we've had our online shows to keep us kind of busy and going. Because I think if I hadn't got that, you'd be like pulling your hair out.
Yeah, no, you need go off the rocker. Like you definitely do.
Absolutely, yeah.
But at least you adapted in some way as well. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God. if I hear that one more time about adapting, because it's just like do you know that episode of Friends where he's like pivot?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I just feel like I've pivoted and adapted so much that I'm just like, there's nothing else, like there's no more.
Especially with the
adapting to do.
news, even the news in Ireland, all they're saying is like,
We've adapted so well.
Oh my
like,
God.
fuck off. I don't
I
want to
don't want
adapt.
to
I want to
fucking adapt.
reverse.
I don't want to adapt. Yeah. Like,
I want to go back.
Yeah.
back it up. Yeah.
No, we were the same because like we only started the podcast in January, and like since then I've noticed then even now, don't get me wrong, you still have like weird days where your mental health's like, right, this is a never ending bleeding Groundhog Day.
I
But
know.
even from January, I'm probably 10 times better than last year because like that, you have something in your brand and then it's just like, this is never fucking
Like you need
Wow.
something to kind of like push you, like to keep your mind occupied.
The podcast probably helped you as well. There's something to focus on, and then like even just talking about other stuff, you know, like because everyone is just talking about like vaccine,
Oh
and
my God,
like COVID. I just like I never want to hear like so many words again. They're just like I feel like I'm gonna have like PTSD after this, where I'm like, don't want to ever hear that again.
Oh, stop. I know, I don't think like last year I probably watched the news the most I've ever in my life, and I got to a point where I was like, I can't hear numbers again. Every day it was 10,000, 20,000, and it's like, okay, it's been 2 weeks, we're not going back.
I know.
Oh, we're not doing that.
It was like body bingo. It was like they were talking about like all these numbers that were just like, and it's you know, and the thing about it was like all those numbers, they were like all people that were actually like people's relatives, not that were dying. But everyone became so desensitized to it because it was just like non-stop. And even now, it's like the numbers. I just like have to zone out. I can't be listening to it.
I can't remember the last time I watched it. I occasionally check up to see can I go to a certain shop or go out now, like see what we can do. But that's about it. Like it's exhausting.
What's things like over there? What's life like over there in Toronto?
I think today we've actually eased up again. So last week we could have like shops open and patios.
Oh,
I think from today hairdressers are allowed open. Are they? I could be totally wrong.
I think the 8th is the hairdressers.
Well, I know they were bringing it up to Wednesday though.
I'm not
I don't know.
We're very slow though. Ireland were a bit ahead of us.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we were in lockdown for
since we came out of a lockdown for about 3 weeks last summer, like around August. Then we went back in and it kept like going up and down. But at Christmas we went in like 2 weeks before Christmas, full like lockdown. You weren't allowed to leave your gas, nothing. And that ended for a week in, I want to say March. And then cases went down, but literally a week later they went back up, and we've been in lockdown since until last week. Yeah. So it's been tough. Yeah.
And I think it's to do with the numbers though. Like there's 14 million people in Ontario. Like so. Yeah. You know, like so. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. I hope. Slowly.
Jesus.
Oh, that's another one that needs to be, that needs to go to bit.
I'm throwing them all out. Throwing them all out. I am.
We're in this together. Light at the end of the tunnel. The new normal, put them all in the bin. Put them all.
It's gone. Done. But here, I meant to ask you, what did your family think when you were like, I'm going to do drag? Like, were they like, what the fuck? Like,
well, see, that's the thing. So at the time, I was kind of thinking, I was like, oh God, like how, and this is a very different time. Like, it's not like it was like the dark ages, but it was just things like there was no drag really around. Like at that time, there was like, Shirley Temple Bar had started calling bingo on telly, and drag was just a very real English kind of thing. So it was hard to explain what it was. So I started kind of trying to explain. I kind of said, oh, well, you know, I'm doing this show. I didn't say drag. I just said, I'm doing this show in the George. And, you know, it's like, we, you know, dancing and kind of basically, I think my ma thought I was a stripper. I think she thought I think because the way I was describing it actually sounded a bit like I was like lap dancing or something.
Yeah, because you're trying to be discreet, but like then she's like, wait, what the fuck?
You're putting the feel.
I just didn't want to say, oh, I'm dressing up as a woman, was basically what I didn't want to say. But they didn't care. I was just kind of like, I remember I said to my brother, and I was explaining to him, I was like, oh, you know, I don't want to be a woman. It's just like, it's the show. And he goes, I don't care even if you do. He's like, it doesn't make a difference to me. But that's, people just have so many different opinions on it. Or, you know, people can go to one conclusion when it's like, there's so much more to it, you know?
Yeah, no, that definitely is.
At least you were good about it.
That was
everyone was great. Like, I've been so lucky in that respect. Like, I'm always the kind of person as well, though, even if I wasn't, I'd still be doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, nobody would stop me. Yeah, like, whereas I know, like, maybe I can say that just because I have been kind of blessed, but to be honest, no one's opinion really matters to me, you know? Never really did.
And it shouldn't. That's what people need.
Yeah.
Like, fuck what people think if they don't respect it in that way.
Yeah. And even like, you know, you can kind of bend to people. Like, obviously it takes time for people to adjust to certain things. So you can kind of bend slightly to kind of give, because sometimes people need time to like digest things. And then I don't believe you should be shoving things in people's faces when they're trying to like, you know, swallow a dramatic moment you're just giving them. So it's about kind of a little bit of respect on both sides. But ultimately, if someone's going to have an opinion or kind of come down on you, it's not worth it.
Yeah, not worth it.
So live your life.
Exactly.
Especially in this day and age as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
well, especially after what we all been through.
Yeah.
That's what we all been through. Life is short, you know.
That's it. Exactly. Like, we're part of history, in fairness.
you're sticking to it.
Yeah. Well, did you ever do drag when you lived in Toronto?
I did, yeah. So I went to Toronto. I was like, I kind of ran away from Dublin because I was like 21 and I was like, I hate it here. I'm moving away. I'm going to have a new life. Everything's going to be fabulous.
Literally me thinking I was going to be Foxy Carrio, Sex in the City or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was like, I'm going to like pack my bags. And we stayed down in a hostel down in, where was it? It was like near, it was like, I'm trying to remember the street. It was down near kind of the theatre district, you know, down that way. It was like near the CN Tower. It was very close to CN Tower.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
Very close. And me and my friend came, and me and my friend kind of, we were like going to like live in Toronto and start fresh and all this. And then my best friend came with me to make sure that I was kind of all right. He went basically as a holiday for 2 weeks. And when I arrived in Toronto and checked into the grotty like hostel, and I sat in the bed, and there was no sheets on the bed, and I was just there was no sheets. They went down to the hostel reception to get the sheets, and I was like, what have I done? I was like, this is awful.
That's when it hit you kind of.
Hit me. Yeah. And then we kind of just started going out every night. We went out. We were just kind of talking to loads of people, making loads of friends. And there was like this talent night that was on Mondays, and it was in Cruise and Tango.
Really doing last weekend.
Oh, were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, I love Cruise and Tango. I'm jealous. It's so fab. And I did it was like Candace's Star Search or something. It was like every Monday, and every Monday they still
do that. Are they? They still have recruitment days on Mondays. Yeah.
Is it still Candace's thing? Candace died.
I'm not sure.
I think so. I think there was like there used to be a banner out the front. I think it was. Yeah.
I think because she was there for years. She was very she was morbidly obese, let's just say it. Like, and you know, like, I had never seen kind of like, you know, a different queens. Like, I never saw like big queens like that. I never kind of was around Latin queens or black queens. So it was a total education. So, I just did the show. I think there was 3 contestants or whatever, and I won the show. It was like, well, I had a 1 in 3 chance in fairness. The other 2 were like wrote off. So, and then you got into the final. But because I did that show, we went out and we met like loads of different people, and this one queen, she lived on Yonge Street. She said she basically offered us a room in her house. So she was an older queen, but she was fab. She was a bit mad, and she was like recovering alcoholic and all, but she was so good to me, and she kind of took me under her wing. She taught me loads of stuff. Yeah, so like I really landed on my feet, and she was like, "Let's say they're rent free and everything." So it was pretty
that's
impressive.
So nice.
Oh my God, that's so nice. What's that number? I could do free rent.
She left Toronto. She lives in Calgary now. She's
out in the middle of nowhere now.
Yeah.
You know what? That's so nice. So like, she probably knew you were like new here as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was just nice to kind of feel like that, because there was loads of people like you didn't really know, like, you know what, on a scene, especially like even you can see it here, there's always dodgy characters hanging around, lurking in the background, and you could easily fall into the wrong crowd when you're kind of trying to find new friends or find your way. So we were really lucky. So I'm still in touch with loads of the queens from Toronto. Like, they're like some of my like oldest friends, you know, now at this stage, and they've been over here to Dublin. I've been back there loads of times. I was supposed to go last year to visit, and obviously like I couldn't. So.
Yeah, you couldn't. We have to let us know when you are coming over.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I'd love to.
We'll meet you at the airport, big Irish flag.
Oh, yeah. The shamrock shakes out.
I'll have your Irish Hampton ready for you.
Oh, ready to go.
So, how long were you actually here for? Like in Canada? Like, when did you go back home?
So I was there for I think about 9 months in total, I think it was. And I was supposed to be there See, like I'd saved up loads of money, so I was like, when I got there, and the exchange rate was really good then, so it was like I nearly had like double the money, which I was like so shook by.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I didn't have to work, like, so I was actually just like living off my money, and I was just doing kind of normal things, like just, I wasn't going around shopping every day or so I was just like living my life. And then of course I was doing little shows here and there, and because I kind of started getting into the Queens, I was getting little gigs, and then you get all the tips and all that. So I was there 9 months, but I remember my friend who I was with, he ran out of money. And he couldn't get a job or something. He was just like, I went to Montreal for the weekend, and when I came back on the Sunday, he was like, I have to go home. Oh, and I was devastated because he was like, just left me. And so I was on my own. I just thought, oh God. So I stayed for about a week, and I was miserable. I was just like, this just doesn't feel the same. And because everyone had their lives, like everyone was like going to work and doing stuff, and I was like, I had no kind of, what would you say, like routine or whatever. So
you just had free time to then sit and dwell on the fact that, not that you were alone, but then there's nobody else here. It's like, right, okay, what am I doing now?
Yeah. And you start sleeping in mad weird patterns. So you're up like most of the night because you're like out, and then you're like sleeping during the day. So your body clock's basically, you're
all
like,
over the place. Like.
Yeah. So I just decided, I was like, no, like I made the right decision. I was so delighted to come home. Do you know when you get that buzz, you're like, I just want to go home. I want to go home right now. So I just had to go. So
you knew yourself as well. Do you know what I mean? Like,
And it's amazing. I love Toronto. I think like of all the places I've been, like I definitely, like I could see myself living there. Like if I had to pick another place, like it's a great city and the people are lovely. And it's kind of got like the vibe of America, but just nicer vibe,
I do get that as well. So I used to always say, oh, I want to move to America. And then I came here and it's like, right, no. I was like, America is batshit crazy. I'll stay here.
Do you girls like it? What do you make of it?
I like it. Now, I only came here in like September 2019. So like I went into winter and then lockdown in March, and it's
oh my God.
Been that sort. Like going to Cruise and Tangos last week was like my first drag show here.
Wow.
And I live in the village, so like I should have been there a lot like sooner. But how long are you here now?
I'm here over 2 years. So I've experienced the summer and stuff like, and all like, like the markets and the festivals and stuff. Lovely. I love it. Like, but like my mom was on the phone to me the other day and she was like, do you ever think you'll come home? Like, do you ever think, I was like, well, right now I'm happy here. I'm never going to say like down the line in the future, like I'll never come home. But right now I'm happy here. Like, I think there's more freedom here or something. Like, I know if I went home, I wouldn't be able to afford to go out and rent somewhere. Like I'd be living with my mom and I'm like fucking 50. Like
I know. Really. Oh, well, like it's mental here at the moment, but there is that weird kind of, there is a definite, like, it feels freer there. It does.
100%.
I don't know what that is or how to name that. I don't know what it is, but it does definitely just feel a bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just that we know a different place. Do you know? Maybe
that's
it's
true.
Just
that's true. But I think even if you're in Dublin, I was saying the same before. Like you do have the like. You try to keep up with like trends and over here, like everyone just does not give a flying fuck.
No
one cares. Like
I remember like the one thing that I thought was just really weird about, like if you needed something you could run into Pennies and just pick that up.
Oh my God,
there's just no Pennies there. There's no even equivalent. It was like, is that place Winners still there?
Yeah,
Winners.
still here.
Somebody told me about Winners. I was like, this is not like Pennies. This is not like Pennies.
It's like TJ Maxx.
Yeah, that's what I was like. No, there's a load of shite that he couldn't sell.
Yeah. So I was like, I just want to get like a few bits, and they're like, oh yeah, like I think I needed to buy a bra and like socks or something like that. And they were like, oh yeah, Winners. And I was like, oh my God, this is not. And then when my Canadian friends came over here, I brought them to Pennies and they were like, oh my God, this
actually
is
ran
amazing.
amok.
Like they were like filling the basket with like bracelets and earrings.
It's just the best thing. Like they need to get one here.
They
like,
need
seriously.
to get one. I know they have one in Boston, but I think the flights from here to Boston are like mad because I think they know the majority of people fly to Boston.
I definitely do them.
Oh, me too. It's like it's a must.
I can't wait to walk into a Pennies and just whip the basket.
Yeah. Oh, I know. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like walking around with that on your arm.
Like you just go over with an empty suitcase and then right, all my Pennies stuff now it's going in this empty suitcase.
Pennies true. I'll be crying now later on, like Pennies.
I paid $20 for like a bra. You go into Pennies and pay what, €3 or something like.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
like that's one thing I hated about it. It's just like the way they shop and all is just different, and the trends, like the fashion is not the same.
No,
it's not. Which I quite like about about the UK and Ireland is that it is a bit trend based, but it is what it is.
That's it. But how did you come up with your name, Davina Devine? That was real Davina Devine.
So it was actually when I was in with the Megagla lesbians that I was the queen bee of. We all lived together, and one of my good friends, Debbie, two of us were like cleaning the apartment one night. We were just whizzing around, and I was like, oh God, what was that? And there was loads of names being tossed around, and at that time, a lot of people they all had names like that were like innuendos. So it was all like Sheila Blige, or like it was all like Gail, what was it? Gale Weathers because she blows like a hurricane, all this kind of crap, like just like ridiculous names. And I was like, no, I didn't want something that was like just a crap joke, because I just thought,
and it'll last like longer, like timeless kind of.
Totally. And then I was just thinking about like something that looked good and kind of rolled off the tongue. And then my friend just goes, what about Davina Devine? She just said it to me, and I was like, oh, that kind of has a good ring to it. And then I was looking at like, and when you spell Davina Devine, it's actually spelled exactly the same. It's just there's A's in Davina and there's E's in Divine. Yeah. So you could actually, so I was thinking like logo wise, even then I was like, oh, that could work. So, so that was it. There was no real like brain, there was no magic to it. It was just literally, I think she was cleaning the toilet at the time.
Like, this one.
So it was just like, what about Davina Devine? Maybe it was just gloriously clean. Who knows? I don't know.
It's memorable though.
Yeah, totally. And you know what I love about it as well as now, I think when people, if people Google me, it just comes up. Do you know what I mean? There's one other Davina Devine, and when I first started doing drag, like the internet was kind of like, people didn't have it like in their houses, like so you'd have to go to like the internet cafe or whatever. And God. You go to check your emails on your hotmail.com, your MSN or whatever. Oh God. And there was only one other Davina Devine, and she's still around today. She's called Davina Devine, and she's like a belly dancing guru. She's written loads of books about like belly dancing costume and all. We actually had her on my podcast where we were like, Davina Devine meets Davina Devine. So because we keep getting tagged as each other for years. She get tagged as me. So I have her Twitter handle, and she has my I'd like her Instagram handle, but she won't give it to me. So
Bitch.
I asked her, I was like, how about she wasn't.
How about we swap?
Bribery. That bribery works.
That's it. Like there's no magical story, unfortunately. clean toilet bowl. That was it.
At least when you heard it, you were like, do you know what? Actually, that works.
Yeah. And it stuck. Like it's one of those things. It just works, and I think it's like it stands on its own. Do you know what I mean? And it's like no one else. I think I've heard like maybe two other Davinas drags like other from around, but there's loads of like my friend used to be April Showers, and there was a couple of April Showers knocking around, and so it's unique.
Of, like similar ones.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Is your look or anything inspired by anyone, like any idols? I know you did mention Princess Diana earlier.
I'm very Lady Diana Spencer.
Very hoops and everything. Very Diana.
She would be totally wearing this Pink Panther fucking season top. No, do you know, I always just kind of wear what I feel. Like I definitely have like a vibe. I remember when I first started doing drag, I was like, oh, kind of the aesthetic I've always just loved big, busty, blonde, like glamour pusses. But I think as time's gone by, I definitely lean towards like I have a look that I'm like, so even like my hair, whatever, this hair that I'm wearing will be like my signature kind of like Davina Devine hair. And like hair that's like off the face. And then when I was actually thinking about it, I was like, actually my look is actually just Mariah Carey. I was like, it's actually just like everything that Mariah would wear, I'd be like, yeah, I'd wear that. Yeah, I'd wear that hair. Yeah. So she's just very like, but I was talking to Andrew, this guy Andrew, he's from Dublin. He does all the celebs hair, and she was his first celebrity client, and he said that she has like just certain looks. She likes off the face, she likes poker straight, or she likes curls. She's not very adventurous with the hair, but that's her vibe. And I was like, I kind of feel a bit like that as well. Yeah. That's like, what works for you, you make it work.
That's it, do it.
And then you get known for it though as well. Like, do you know what I mean?
Totally,
straight away.
The other thing as well, if someone, if someone else is doing it, they're like, oh, that's very Davina, or that's very. So if people are saying that about you, that means you have a strong look. Do you know? Which is you need to have a strong look. If you're flicking around all the time looking completely different, no one's even going to know you.
They're not going to remember. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
they're not going to know what. They're not going to know what they're going to come out like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you have to create something that's like strong, that's like visually, you can be clocked.
Yeah, that's it.
Because they'd be like, oh no, that's Davina.
Yeah, exactly.
Straight away.
That's no April shower, like.
R.I.P. April showers.
R.I.P. Is there any songs on it, like when you're performing, that are like your favorite that you always perform?
Oh God, that's like over the years now. I'm just thinking now, like it's been so long since we actually did a show. Like so we said that. And
or anyone you're dying to just do, like.
Oh, like I just have my favorites. Like I always have all my stuff on a USB. So like I have all the songs I've done since I've like God knows, and it's just like hundreds of them that I've learned. I'm like, can't believe I even like learned all the words to all those songs. Do you know what I mean? When you think back to like, yeah, it's mental, but like don't like. Sometimes you're going, God, I wonder could I still remember. But my go-to songs that I just loved, like my favorite songs to perform are I love Madonna Like a Prayer, because that was one of my biggest songs, and I always have a little like sneaky like nun gimmick in that I always kind of do, and people are always like, oh my God, like, lose their shit. So it's got like this little kind of surprise part in it that people just love. And then I love the drama of like Celine Dion, It's All Coming Back to Me Now, because it's so dramatic.
Yeah, and everyone knows it too.
Yeah, it's just iconic. So like, you know, when you have like a bit of smoke, a wind machine, like blue lights, it's all very
and it's a build up in the song as well. Yeah, it's got everything in it. Like it's literally got high bits, low bits, dramatic. It's that's my favorite. You get really into it. I think everyone loves lip syncing to that. It's such a banger. Like this is that fourth line. Like the minute you hear that fourth line, you're like, right. Well, you know, like the part where it's like the very first thing, it's like just someone like slamming the piano. So I always just throw myself onto the ground. So I always hit the ground exactly as slam the piano. So it's like you're literally like you're dead. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, literally. And sometimes you'd be literally like if I was very hungover, whatever, you'd be doing the show and you'd be lying on the ground waiting for the lyrics to start, and you're just like, oh God, I could actually just go asleep. It's like, actually don't start the song, it's fine. Yeah, you're like, just extend the intro, going. Extend the intro. Yeah. How long does it take you to get ready for a show? Like roughly? I think through lockdown, it's like I've been nailed it. I can get ready so quick now for doing these virtual stuff. But I like a good like 2 hours to sit down, and also like we'd be all sitting together, we'd be having a laugh, we'd be having a drink in the dressing room. Like it's a real process. You just like you catch up on all the gossip. People will be saying, oh, did you hear about this? And it's just like I really miss that. That's part, because then I don't know, you kind of just slip into character when everyone's sitting around. You can see everyone else kind of what stages are, like everyone's like on eyes, then you're on cheeks, and then you're on this. So everyone's moving at the same pace. So I like a good 2 hours just to sit down and actually just like get into it, you know? Feel you don't feel rushed as well. Like no. Oh, I hate being rushed. And I feel like through this pandemic, I've been rushing around just like, you know, and I'm one of those people that just I keep forgetting everything. So I'm just like, what about that? What about this? It's fucking awful, isn't it? It's just like scat that brain. Like that's me. I was only saying that to you earlier. I was trying to tell her 3 things at once. I was like, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. No. Well, you know when you're literally just about to walk out, like, oh my God, I need this. Yeah. Straight back in, straight back out. No, I'm the worst for that. Think of like early onset Alzheimer's. It's because now you think you've so much free time because nothing's happening with COVID. So you say to everything, that you do everything, or you leave everything to like one day, and then you're like, I actually have no time. Like the time's just gone. It's so funny, even for these virtual gigs, like me and Victoria, we'd be getting ready. Say the gig starts at like 4, and I could be literally like sticking my nails on literally at like 2 minutes to 4, and I'm like this looking at the clock, and come from like, oh, I'll always be ready, but I'll mentally be mind to be like going mentally, just like right, I'm here. The stress of it, the stress and the pressure, and then the gig starts, and you're like, hello. You just go zoom. It's literally, it's mental. So like I'm the worst. Like if I had 6 hours, I'd be like, do you know what I mean? I'm on laughing. It's the minute when you think you're rushing, you're trying to do eyeliner or eyelashes, and it's meltdown. I remember I used to be going out on a Saturday night, and you'd be looking at the clock and your taxi's on the way, and you're like fucking your eyeliner or your eyelashes falling off, and you're like, I'm not fucking going out now. I'm not going out. Yeah. Did you see that TikTok? There was a TikTok going around. It was like there's all the different people when the taxi is coming, and there's all these people. I saw. Are like, did you see that? Like some people's with the bag, some people's there doing their eyeliner. Like I'm definitely the bitch. Someone's still in bed. Yeah, with a drink running out the door.
definitely.
You're trying to neck it, like
it's like famous last words. I just need to put on my lashes. They take the longest.
I just need.
I just need this, like.
Or if you're meeting someone in town, you're like, I'll be there 5 minutes, and you're still in your gaff, like, haven't even left. I'm on the way.
The worst.
But if you could have any guest on your podcast, like anyone in the world, who would you love to have on it?
Yeah.
If I could have anyone
besides
on.
us, obviously.
Oh, do you know? I think. Of course you guys. I think I'd have to have. I think I'd probably have to have a Spice Girl. Well, any of the Spice Girls. Yeah, I just loved the Spice Girls when I was growing up. Like I was obsessed. I'd like any of them. Like it's just like that would be a real child. Like I met Mel C when she did a gig here, and I was swear to God, I was actually like I couldn't even talk. And I did like this was only about 2 years ago. I was literally she did a gig in what's it called, Abbey Street. You know that place, the Academy. She did
yeah.
And when she came backstage, I literally was like freaky child. Do you know? I was like, like I don't know. I was such a loser. Like,
can I get a picture, please?
Yeah. And then me and Victoria, we got a picture with her, and then I was like, can I have one on my own? I was actually so embarrassed for myself afterwards, but I was like, I could feel my face burning up because I never get like that. So definitely a Spice Girl, or I love the Real Housewives. So I watch the Real Housewives everywhere, and we've had a Beverly Hills. Yeah, so we've had a couple on the podcast, and we've a couple kind of lined up. So I get really excited about them because there's loads of questions I want to ask.
Yeah,
because I love the Housewives. I'm obsessed. Like,
I love it. It's so catty, like
so catty, so dramatic. They're basically just drag queens. They're just drag queens.
They really are, like.
Yeah, I love it. So that'll be either Spice Girl or Housewife.
They'd be interesting ones, definitely.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Spice Girl if you had to pick?
Oh, it used to be Jerry Halliwell. I used to be obsessed with Ginger Spice. I was obsessed, but then I went to the gig that they did in Croke Park, and she's just like an Elwyn now. And she's just like, she shushed Croke Park. She actually shushed Croke Park. And I was just like, what is going? Yeah. And they all did like, one of the points they all did a shot. So like they came out and literally they had shots. Yeah. And Emma, I think, had a can of Guinness, and she had like a cup of tea. And I was just like,
fuck off.
Yeah. And
I even put water in a shot glass or something like
yeah,
like,
just fake it. Pretend there with a cup of tea. Like, so if I had to, probably I'd say probably Mel B. I'd say she's mad. Like,
yeah.
Like she's wild.
I
feel like
love her.
Yeah, she's a good crack. So I'd say she'd be a good time gal. So I'd probably pick her.
Yeah, because she's real. She doesn't give a fuck what she says, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's real, like take it or leave it kind of.
And I love that. I love people like that that'll just say it as it is.
Yeah, because you don't want someone real filtered, like, do you know what I mean as well? Like they're like coach what to say.
Yeah,
like,
or like the way Victoria Beckham talks, real posh and real, like, you know.
Yeah.
Like she never spoke like that. You know, like she was like
the persona
from Essex.
Yeah.
No, and plus I'd be like, here, speed up a bit, like
yeah.
Mad slob. I'd be like, here, like
she does.
This fucking podcast only an hour, like we're
well, come here. Are you delighted that you can do voice clips on WhatsApp and put them at 1.5?
Oh my god,
yeah. You see that? It's a godsend, isn't it?
It's the best thing.
How you didn't think of it before? Like, because you know you had to go back. Like, if you like say someone interrupt you, and you had to go back. Or like, I'm after hearing this already. Like,
yeah, I know. I only have one friend that I have at like by two. She's the only one person that I have, and she talks so slow. When I press it by two, she sounds like she's talking like normal pace.
Does she know you have her on by two?
No.
I won't ask her name then.
No, and her no, I won't say her name, but Louise knows herself who she is. She's just, what was it like? I was saying to her, like, they're supposed to be like quick voice clips, and I always look at the time. It's like she's like 3 minutes 58. I'm like, you could have just rang me. Like, what are you doing?
That's easy though.
No, you as well. She just sent me 5 minute voice clips. But we do just keep rambling. That's what, when they brought that out, because she said to me, she goes, I can't listen to that. I go, speed it up, it'd be grand. Because half of that, I'm like, shit, what was I actually going to say? And instead of just sending it, I'm like, fuck.
I know, but they're a godsend. I'm a big voice clipper because I always have big nails on all. I'm like, I can't be typing. I'm like, so anyway, I'll tell you this.
Yeah. It's like real quick. When you're typing something, they don't sometimes get the emotion. Like if it's a story or something, that's have to happen to you. So you have to voice know it. Because then, like, the majority of the time that we're just laughing down the voice notes to each other. Like,
Yeah.
there's not even
like,
words.
you'll never guess what's after happening.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? It's actually so nice having someone on the podcast with such a strong Dublin accent as well. Like,
Oh, really?
Davina over here, yeah.
Who have you had on? What kind of people have you had on?
We only started doing guests, so we literally only had like one of our friends that kind of, like, they started their own education business. So he's a hairdresser. So we started like social media, education for people. So we had him on. Brilliant. So you're literally the second guest that's going up.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
We had another one. We have another one recorded with an Irish girl that's over here. She does like tan and stuff in Vancouver, and she's like the difference over here. Like no one was getting tan.
No.
So we had her on, but she's going up next week. I think something like that.
Yes, something like that. We have a few people lined up though. It's just. We done it on our own, just the two of us for ages, like, and we loved that. We're like, we need something new, like something different, to like spice it up. So we're like,
it is, and because she's like, we're the same. Like me and Victoria, like when we have the pod, like we could chat like for ages, but it's nice just bring someone in just to break it up, just talk, you know, and just to like. Sometimes people like hearing stories. They like hearing about other people's lives. You know, people are nosy.
Yeah, we're all nosy.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, I love the gossip.
Yeah,
but me too, obsessed.
But when are you back? Is the George back open?
The George is back open, but it's only for outdoor. So they have like they have a patio out the back. Patio. What am I saying? They have a like smoking area out the back. Patio.
Patio is real.
You had me thinking patio.
Yeah.
Patio out the back, and they have like all tables and chairs. So, but it's like it was Pride on Saturday, and it wasn't the same because it was just like everyone's sitting at their table. You're not allowed, and people see it and they're like, "Oh my god, can I get a photo?" You can't even really take photographs of people because you're not allowed. So it's open, but I don't know how long it's going to be before we get indoors. Like an indoor dining was delayed from yesterday.
I heard that.
Yeah. So the country is up in arms. People are fuming
because it's so conflicted, though, isn't it? Like
it just doesn't make sense. Like you can go to a hotel and you can have a dinner indoors if you're a guest, but if you're walking in off the street, you're not allowed. So it doesn't make any sense.
No, that's I think the most frustrating part. It's like COVID's so serious, blah blah, but like. They only come out after like 11 o'clock because you have to leave the pub at 11 o'clock. They also don't like to go, like, they don't be outside the pub, but it goes inside the pub. Like,
I know, it's so silly. And it's just really frustrating when your whole life's been kind of ripped from under you and you just want to get back to normal. And everything that you do, like, I can't make a living. Like, there's no way I can't, like, DJ, I can't host, I can't do anything because all those options, they're all closed. Do you know what I mean? So unless I'm going to go around collecting glasses out on the patio, I ain't going back to work just yet, you know?
Yeah. Plus, your like life is about like interacting with people, you know what I mean? Feeding off other people's energy and all. And it's weird, I think, when it's virtual. Like, it's not
totally. I always think it's like having a cyber seance. So it's like, you know, it's like, is there anybody out there? And you're like, literally, it's like a scene.
Everyone's muted and there's like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then it goes the other side. Then of course you'd have the flip side where everyone's just fucking talking over each other and you're just like, fuck. Remember I did a gig over lockdown and everyone just kept shouting over each other, and at the end of it, swear to God, I had bronchitis after it because I was like, shut up.
Like, oh my God.
It's been it's been trying, like it's been an experience. Not one that I want to really have, but experience.
The quicker we see like the end of it.
Yeah, I think everyone's ready for I was going to say to go back to normality, but I'm not allowed to say that.
The new normal.
Get out of it. Oh, Jesus.
But have you got any like horror stories of like when you're performing like a drag show and like something just went completely wrong or something that stands out to you? Hopefully not now, but...
Oh, listen, you name it, it's happened. Like, you name it. Like, I've been in drag for ages, so everything has gone wrong that could possibly go wrong. Like, literally, like, you know, broken limbs, injuries, like everything. But the one thing that always stands out that I think is just a funny story, because people are like, that can't be true. But it is very true. And years ago, I was doing this gig. It was like I think it was like DCU or something. It was like some kind of like a fundraiser or something. And it was, or like Freshers Week or something, and I decided that I was going to perform Britney Spears' Slave for You, and I was going to get a real live snake and use the snake in the act, right? So I had this genius I had this genius idea. So I'd done it before, like a week before, at this other club, and I just said, I'll get the snake. So someone said, you can hire the snake from this guy he hired me, like for the reptile. It's like a reptile shop.
Right.
You can try them. So this snake came, and it was like, when I saw it, I thought, oh God, what are you actually after getting yourself into now? Because I just didn't think it through. And like, have you ever held a snake?
No.
Right. So like, this snake was like 8 foot long, and it's really heavy. Like, they're just like, it's like a leg. Like a big, like someone's big leg.
Like dead weight, just trying to strangle you.
Yeah, it's pure muscle. Like, so I was there, and they were like, no, it's fine. Just if it bites you. And I was like,
sorry, what?
If it bites you, they were like, yeah, if it bites you, just like, you have to push your hand into its mouth as opposed to pull it away, because their teeth are inverted to push you down the throat. Do you know what I mean? So they eat rats that push their like stuff down the throat, so their teeth go backwards. So you kind of push it in, and then it goes like that, like to open to bite you again. So that's when you can take it out. So yeah, so I learned all this. So I was ready to be fucking eaten alive. So I was walking around with it. We did the show. Everything was fine. It was like grand. And then I said, I'm doing this big student thing. So I was like, I'll do it again. They'll love that. It'd be like a showstopper. So the snake that I had already booked wasn't available. So they said, but we have this other snake. And I was like, okay. But they were like, this is exactly like Brittany's one, but it's 10 foot long. So it was like 2 foot bigger. I was like, okay, bring it. So in the dressing room, we're all getting ready. And this snake, the man brings it, and it's in a suitcase, in a duvet case. So a duvet like cover in a suitcase. Right, this is how it arrives, and I was like, "Oh God!" So the snake comes out. It was a gorgeous snake, and it was like one of those yellow snakes. I was wrapped around his arm, and it was just real still and just like not really moving. And the other snake I had was kind of a bit curious and kind of smelling around and all. So I said, "Something's a bit weird. That snake doesn't look very happy." And I just thought, "Okay, well, whatever." I had got ready. And we started the performance. We were giving it loads on the stage. And I had 4 dancers, and we were all like doing a routine. And then there's like an instrumental break, so I could see the snake. The man had the snake around his neck waiting in the wings to give it to me. So when I went over to get it, because the dancers were doing the dance break, I went over. The snake, I could see start like fucking losing. It was going mad, starting to like wiggle all over the place. Shit. And I just thought, oh God. So he said, don't take the snake. And I said, I have to take it. It's it's happening. So I just took it. I said, I'll just hold it real tight. So I put it around my neck, and I just held the neck so it wouldn't bite me. Like, I held it, and it was kind of starting to like struggle a bit. So I was kind of like,
my God.
It was strong.
With this snake. It's like this is all part of the act. It's fine.
It was strong. And then when I got out onto the stage, I could feel the whole thing just tensed up. It just literally went like rock solid. And I did a spin, and with that, I just got this foul smell. Like, like the worst I've ever smelled in my life. It shit all over the stage. All over the stage. It shit all over the stage, and like in front of everybody. And it was like, firstly, I didn't think snake shit. Firstly, second of all, it was like about 2 liters of shit, and yeah. And I don't know if you've ever seen snake shit or like but it's basically like it looks like porridge. But it's like it smells like piss, shit, and vomit mixed together in a blender, heated in a microwave, and then fucked onto the ground. So it was disgusting. But and as soon as it went to the toilet, it was like
right, I'm ready for me time now.
Oh, it was ready to be like Britney Spears, give it loads. Like, so it was constipated. It just needed to go.
And did you continue the show?
I continued, but you know what? At the time, the dancers were on the ground. They fucking jumped off the ground because the shit was like literally like, so it's shit on a couple of the dancers.
Oh my God!
I didn't get a drop of shit on me, thank God. But the smell, everybody like was disgusted. I have a picture of this. I'm going to show you.
You were just a sprinkler machine, and that's
here we go.
So
Jesus,
people never believe me when I see this, but some guy who was there took this picture, and it was right at the moment when the snake was shitting. And
my God,
I'm going to show you this now. Right, this is like from I think it's like 2006. So I'm going to show you this now. Okay, so that's me holding snake.
Oh my God!
Can you see?
Yeah.
Can you see the shit?
That is hilarious.
So I'm so glad, because if I told people that, people would be like, that didn't happen. I'm like, no, that really happened. It really happened.
Yeah.
And I have the receipt there to prove it. So it was putrid. Yeah. So that was pretty bad. So that was,
you know what? Fair play to you.
Yeah, continuing though, like the show must go on.
I know, but one sad thing about the story is I went to book the snake again because I thought, I'll do it again, because it was fab. People did love it. It was real well. And the snake had died because the family went on holidays, and there was a power cut and the central heating went.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, so R.I.P.
Like the lights and the...
They need the heat, yeah. So R.I.P. It was called Chanel. So R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Chanel.
R.I.P. Chanel.
Oh
So,
my
yeah,
God.
This
that was
episode's dedicated to you, wherever you are.
Maybe we should have got her. Maybe she was the dead person we could have got to come back.
Maybe, yeah. She was probably got stage fright, and that's why she tensed up and just let loose.
Well, she's iconic now. She'll live on forever. Her memory will never be lost.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But is there anything like you want to share with anyone before we finish up? Like what you have coming up? Any gigs? Any virtual stuff?
To be honest, I'm not making any plans for anything because there's been so many cancelled stuff. So I'm just looking forward to just getting back to real life, you know, like our podcast, Petty Little Things, is available, of course, if you want to have a listen. We kind of talk about things that just rot us. So we talk about things that piss us off. Me and my friend, like we fight like cats and dogs. So that's why it's called Petty Little Things, because when we fight, we get so petty with each other. We've done awful things on each other like over the years. So we talk about that a lot. And so like that's all that I have really coming up, just kind of waiting on life to resume. I feel like I'm in a waiting room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and when we come to Dublin, we'll definitely pop in for a show. And if you come over, let us know.
Well, whoever will have the amazing race, whoever makes it first. I don't know if I'll make over there first or you'll make over there, but either way, we'll be doing shots and having a laugh.
Absolutely.
Somewhere.
Blackout.
Who knows what the future holds? Oh yeah, I can't wait. Asleep in a urinal.
We'll leave all your Instagram and we'll leave the name of your podcast down below.
Thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming on. We had a great chat now. Yeah. The snake story has been the highlight of my day.
Oh,
I'll never forget that.
Never work with animals or kids or drag queens. So.
Yeah, you proved it. Davina, thanks so much.
Oh, listen, my pleasure, girls. Listen, thanks a million for having me, and do keep in touch now. If I'm over there, I will totally let you know. Like, 100%. I was hoping to get over there like this summer, but I don't think that's going to happen now. So,
I think
who knows?
The 5th, is it the 15th of July or the 5th? There's a certain date.
Yeah.
Apparently, fully vaccinated people can get in, but I don't know what way it's working now. They're saying it's like citizens and like if you have PR and stuff, but I don't know. I've been trying to like investigate for me ma, because my ma hasn't been over or any family, so I've been trying to look.
You've been over there a while. You've been over there.
It'll be 2 years in August now, but it was like pandemic kind of straight away. Like I went home for Christmas, and then I got back and like a month later I was locked down. But we'll see what happens anyways.
Anyway, we'll get
what will be, girls.
Exactly.
Yeah. Listen, thanks for having me. I'm gonna go and wash me face.
Davina, thanks so much.
No bother. Right.
Bye. Have a good one.
Talk to you. Bye.